Our program today begins at the Mesa Trail Head, or the end of the Mesa Trail, which begins in Chautauqua Park in Boulder. We're going to the town of Eldorado Springs, which is just off Broadway on Highway 170, about 5 miles south of Boulder. We're going to visit the town of Eldorado Springs, Eldorado Springs Artesian Water, and we're going to the Eldorado Canyon State Park. Coming up next on Jann Scott Tonite. We're at the Dowdy Draw Trailhead, which is open to horseback riding. It's one of the city parks in Eldorado Canyon as we begin our trip. And that's it. What did you go to?
These cars?
This is the town of Eldorado Springs, one cafe and off to the river.
Did he call it the Golden Mountain School? Why don't we just get my voice saying that?
Tim Metzger is the park manager here at Eldorado Canyon State Park. Can you tell us a little bit about what the park has to offer? And then pan right and off to the river.
We have 4 different trails, all the way from a 14-mile all-day strenuous hike to one trail that's 1 mile long, that's ADA accessible, meaning it's great for wheelchairs, strollers, families, and
Where does the 14-mile hike go to?
it goes to the Walker Ranch area and does a 7-mile loop and then comes back to the park. And it's wonderful if you have the time to do that.
Now, what else is the park known for? I mean, there's a big stream that comes through here, Big Creek.
Right, that's South Boulder Creek, and at the turn of the century, about 100 years ago, this used to be a resort owned by the Fowler family. And the history of the canyon, we have a great historical display in our visitor center, but the history of the canyon is really He took it down in the late 60s because of vandalism and liability, and I still think that's a threat today, so probably not.
What about wildcats, bears, and other wildlife?
Well, I'll tell you, that's the hot topic nowadays, is mountain lion activity and black bears. We do have black bear problems in the park, and we do have mountain lions, but we have some informational brochures, and in some of our interpretive programs we talk about how to avoid confrontations with mountain lions.
Do you ever get to see them? Has anybody ever seen them?
Well, if you're here at night, we unfortunately have some dumpster bears that get into our dumpsters at night, but during the day you probably won't see them.
Yeah, well, in Boulder, where I'm from, we have dumpster divers.
Yes. None of those here.
Here in Eldorado Canyon, people come from all over the world to climb this straight face. And then pan right, and then zoom in on these people walking, keep it going. Next, we look at Eldorado Artesian Spring Water as we continue our look at Eldorado Canyon and the town of Eldorado Springs.
A movement that was going on at the time. He didn't last very long. 2 years later, he sold out to Frank Fowler and a couple of the kind of like big time names in Denver, which I can't really remember right now. He started the resort and he built. He had a couple of large dance halls. One was across the creek from the current one. The current one was built. Then there were actually numerous smaller places that they actually rented out for company parties and wedding receptions and various things like that. The top of our current spring house, in fact, was one of those. Now all it's housed in is the spring itself. This building here was the original ballroom for the Eldorado Springs Resort. It's been various things over the years. In the 40s it was a dime a dance place. In the 50s it was a roller rink. In the 60s and 70s it was various restaurants. Plus all through that time it was rented out for company parties and wedding receptions.
Come to parties and dances in the past, but it's now a bottling plant.
Basically got started in the United States decades ago, but it more or less grew out of people who used to sell ice and stuff, you know. As Perrier entered the sparkling water market in the late 70s in the United States, it kind of brought bottled water into vogue in our country. Its per capita consumption rate in Europe is still, even to this day, vastly superior or vastly greater than it is in America. Per cap consumption rates of bottled water in Europe are about 30 to 40 gallons a person a year, depending on what country you're in. And in the United States, it's considered tremendous that we're now in double digits at 11 to 13 gallons a person, depending on what region of the country you're in. So there's still a lot of growth in the marketplace to even approach the levels that you see in Europe. And you know, the simple facts are other places all around the country that there aren't the public finances to upgrade those systems. It just costs hundreds of billions of dollars. Bottled water manufacturer simply purifies the municipal water systems and then bottles it and sells basically purified tap water. There's a great distinction to me and to all of us here. Companies that they'll bottle a spring water, but they'll transport it in trucks from its source to a bottling plant.
Divide, and then it goes down about 18,000 feet in.
And because of the water is under such great artesian pressure, it squeezes up through the
in this building ever since the 1860s. And then from here, the overflow water goes into the creek, and it's bottled here, or you can come and get your own water right from the tap here. This is where the water comes out of the aquifer and comes through the sandstone into this natural holding tank, which has been here for decades.
Yeah, it works real well for that. That's what we mostly do is walks and that kind of thing. We've done the Voter Humane Society, we've done AIDS walks, we've done things for Cancer Society, a lot of school fundraisers, a lot of nonprofits. We do the family assistance. We probably do a good 100 different events at least a year. Probably we donate water probably 200 or 300 different events. That what they do is they come up here so we can supply it and have a tent to let people drink our water, but mostly it's just donating the water free, and it's really, people are really appreciative of it. I think it's got helped us a lot on the community side to see us out there and get our name out, and we like to donate our product out. You know, it's not a real expensive way to do it, and
Native American folklore has it that these natural spring waters have healing powers, and people to this day attest to it. Well, it's cool and it tastes good anyway. How long have you been getting this water? Why are you getting it? What's the story?
About a year. Yeah, for about a year. We moved here from Miami about a year ago. And we first bought it in bottles, and then we found out about this. And it's good. It doesn't have a bad aftertaste, or doesn't taste like a lot of chemicals are in there or something. So we're pretty health cautious, and I just think it's good water. It's just, you know, I don't know about radioactivity and all the stuff that's in the water that you can't control because of all kind of environmental pollutions and stuff. But I think it's you know, probably hopefully one of the best waters you can get. But interesting what you said about legends. I haven't heard anything about that. What are the legends?
Well, I'm here to find out the legends.
Okay.
Why do you get it?
Well, I live just half a block up there, and it's really convenient. It's good water. It's a lot better than the water that comes out of my faucet.
How long have you been getting it?
Since I lived here in February.
In February.
Yep. And I know the sales guy, Marcus, good guy. Has a good sales pitch, so.
Okay, what about, have you heard of any of the healing qualities of the water?
I don't remember them, but yeah, I think I've heard something about them. That's all I can tell you. I don't really know what they are.
Thanks.
I want spring water.
You do.
I love Eldorado Springs Water. I love Colorado Springs Water.
But why? So what's the story with this water? Why do so many people line up to get it?
Well, it comes out of the faucet here.
Yeah.
And it tastes good.
Yeah.
And there's no chlorine in it. And that's why, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you know, all of Boulder's water is pretty good until they put all the chlorine and fluorine in it. It's glacier water. It's really quite good, but nowadays you can't drink that stuff. It's sort of odd.
You actually think it's bad for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely bad for you. That's why most people are buying water, putting it in filters now. But obviously this doesn't need that. I think Eldo is some of the best water around.
Do you drink the others? Or have you drank them?
A little bit, not much. I used to come here and fill up.
Yeah.
Now we just have it delivered.
Yeah.
I've used filters before, but it's not quite the same thing. So I like Eldo water quite a bit.
Do you know any of the legends of Eldorado Springs water?
No, I don't.
Trying to find a legend.
You know, I've been coming down here for almost 10 years.
10 years, really?
Yeah, because I climb in the canyon too.
You what?
I rock climb up in the canyon.
Oh, do you?
So, yeah.
You go up and rescue people?
Well, no, we don't rescue people out of this particular part of the canyon, but I climb up there. They don't bring water for their dogs on the trail.
Oh.
So I go through it pretty fast.
That's a bad thing that people need to bring water for their dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I got my own water here, but that's for the critters there.
Did you ever see a dog like just grab the bottle by his paws and tip it right up and drink it? Huh?
No, I didn't. But I've seen a lot of dogs drag their owners to this area of the Eldorado Springs. Probably to get a good drink. And actually, my horse has been here and enjoys this water as well.
Right out of that hose?
Well, yeah, actually.
Oh my God!
I can't drink tap water anymore, and it's just I can't stand the taste.
Yeah.
And
it's all about taste, I guess.
This is good water.
Cheap, huh?
It's cheap.
Yep.
I used to get it delivered.
Yeah.
And that costs a lot of money. So now we just come up here and do it ourselves.
Just to make a weekly thing out of it.
Oh,
when we need it, as we need it.
Yes.
Four of those 5-galloners go about 3 weeks.
I used to work at Boulder Manor as a nurse's aide, and I took care of the lady who founded Eldorado Springs. And apparently, I don't know what year, but they had a pretty big fire up here that burned everything down.
Oh, yeah.
And they built it back up from the ground. But she was a really lively lady. I didn't see her the last 6 months of her life, but up until then she was great. She had excellent humor.
The lungs, but what the hell?
Does it go good with the water?
Nah, ruins the taste of the water.
that or anything?
All my friends go, this is the best damn taste of water. It's like, I don't know, why do you think I drive up there? If they'd only deliver in glass, I would let them deliver to my house.
In where?
Glass. They deliver to the home only in plastic.
Yeah.
Plastics pick up flavors.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh well.
How long have you been getting the water?
A couple years.
And
I'm a climber. I spend too much time here, so you know I got
You're a farmer?
No, climber.
Oh, climber, yeah.
So I spend too much time up here, so it's like...
What are some of the legends of the water, you know?
I have no idea other than the fact I know it's supposed to take 2,000 years to filter through.
10.
10?
Yeah.
10,000?
10,000 years.
It's a lot longer than I've been alive, you know?
Yeah.
Excuse me a second.
That's it? And Andre and Joe are coming at 6:30.
I've gotten really good at picking those up now.
What's
I
that?
pick them up and I pour into my little smaller jugs.
You have to go to the weight room, huh? How long have you been getting it?
As long as I've been climbing here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Does it give you, do you think it has magical powers?
I don't know that it has magical powers, but it tastes really good.
Yeah.
And I think it makes you extra comfy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really hard time paying for it though.
Yeah.
Because I think it was here before people were.
Yeah.
And somebody's monopolizing it.
Well, isn't it kind of free? So what do you pay for this?
What will I pay for this water that I'm getting?
Yeah.
Nothing. I figure that word of mouth.
Yeah.
I give you guys enough business. And I buy it every once in a while in the store when I can't come out here either.
Yeah.
And eventually when I own a house, I'll probably pay to have it delivered. You know how you guys do it. We'll probably get one of those when I have more money. See, I'm still a student, so you'll get your money in time.
Well, as a lot of springs, Eldorado Springs is rich in folklore. There's many stories of how the Indians used to worship the spring area here. There's still a local Indian medicine man who sends people up here to get water out of the spring. He actually uses one of the natural springs that's right over in the creek because they need water for a ceremony where there's nothing man-made or has never touched metal. And so this is just about the only place around where there's a spring like that. There's also kind of a rich batch of legends surrounding spirits around the spring.
Mm-hmm.
There's supposedly a 30-foot tall Indian spirit that's somewhere right around the spring here. There's also the legend of a large hand, the large spirit hand that's actually in the spring. And then all the traditional ghost legends that surround an area like this.
Ghost legends?
Ghost legends. There was the ballroom actually has some reputed to have some ghosts running around in it, although I've never seen one, and I've been there all times of the day or night. Some of the other folklore surrounding the water concerns the healing properties of the water.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be proved or disproved scientifically, but many people believe the water has healing powers. And we actually have a note up on one of our bulletin boards from a customer that sent us that's sure our water cured her cancer. And even though that we can't really advertise it as that or anything, it's a lot of people actually believe that. How about there's Sid and Leah. They're a couple who started coming here in 1947, and they've been coming every weekend the pool is open except for their annual vacation every year since 1947. They have all kinds of stories about when you could still see mountain goats and Rocky Mountain sheep up on these mountains right around us. Both those animals apparently got poached out of the area in the 60s, but they remember them, and they have all kinds of stories. Sid and Leah's children were taught how to swim by Ivy Baldwin, the guy who used to walk the tightrope wire across the canyon.